Hello and welcome back. It's pouring with rain here, cats and dogs, all over the house, so I hope it doesn't come through, right? Today I was going to do the Super Audio CD of Genesis Selling in England by the Pound, the analog production release, but although it was in stock about 3 weeks ago, it hasn't managed to cross the Atlantic and get here. The moment it's home, I'll do a review, I promise. So I was wondering what to talk to you about when my loving wife, knowing that I'm really impatient, said to me, "Why don't you do a Beatles vinyl video?" And I said, "What are you talking about? Come on, you've got dozens and dozens of pressings, and that might be helpful to some people who are starting with the Beatles or who want to have better pressings." And I said, "Well, yes, you got a point. Okay, let's do a Beatles vinyl video then." I picked Magic and Mystery Tool for reasons I'll tell you later on in the video. But first of all, let me get some things straight. There seems to be three kinds of Beatles collectors. First kind is the people that buy the albums, vintage pressings in mint conditions or reissues that could be valuable in the future. And then years later they resell them and make a huge profit. That's business, nothing to do with music, right? And of course, nothing to do with me. The second kind is people that buy very good presents, the best they can. They keep them on the shelves, they show off to their friends, and they show off on YouTube channels and anywhere they go, but they never play the albums. Third kind, which includes me, is people that buy the best possible pressings, that play them and enjoy them and have fun, and try to take good care of them for future generations. I intend to hand down mine to my loving daughter. I picked Magic and Mystery Tour because it seems to be the only Beatles album where there is a universal consensus as to which pressings sound the best. This is not often the case, right? We all hear things differently and we have different audio systems. So people have their favorites and have their choices, but not in this case, both in mono and in stereo. So Magical Mystery Tour was a made-for-TV movie in 1967 in the UK, and it was aired on BBC One in December 1967. It was the Beatles' third film, but it was unsuccessful. Critics didn't like it, audience didn't like it. One of the reasons was that the film was, although it was recorded in colour, it was shown in black and white because BBC One didn't have colour then. And when they finally aired it on BBC Two in colour, it was too late. It was so unsuccessful that the Americans decided not to air it in the States. Although the film was seen as a letdown, it did have a big influence on later comedians like Monty Python and some others in Britain, so all was not lost. The soundtrack was a hit. Trouble was that there was only 6 songs, right? So EMI thought, well, 6 songs is not enough for an LP and too many for an EP. So what should we do? So in the end, they decided to release a double EP, the first of its kind in Britain. It was another mistake. It sold well. This is the Beatles, the songs were excellent, but having 2 45s and be flipping sides for only 20 minutes and listen to 6 songs, it was not very handy, to say the least. As I said, it was released both in mono and stereo in the UK, in Spain, but elsewhere they refused to release the mono album because, on the one hand, stereo was on its way. It didn't look like it would become a great seller with that small booklet, right, and the 45 album cover, and it was difficult to keep the double AB with the albums and with the singles. Germany had gone stereo 3 or 4 years before, and countries like Netherlands, etc., show no interest for the mono. Spain did release it, but it wasn't a huge seller in this country till it went to stereo. But the interesting thing happened in the United States. They released the album before the UK, by the end of November, and in the UK it was the 8th of December or so. The people at Capitol, that runs Beatles albums in the States, had a smart idea. They made a very wise decision that proved to be very successful in the long run. And what was that? Well, they decided to make an LP. As they only had 6 songs, they put the 6 songs on side A, and then picked some singles from 1967, mono singles, and put them on side B. The LP became so popular, and so much so that even people in the UK asked for US exports to get the album. On top of that, Capitol managed for once to get a good one-to-one copy of the album. The copy tape was excellent, and the mono singles had very good quality, so the album sounds fantastic. If I had done this video about 10 years ago, I would have told you to pick the one coming in the Beatles mono box set, right, on vinyl. It was 20-something at the time. The sound is incredible, and it has a sturdy cardboard, 180 grams vinyl, and that's all you need. Right, I'll show you in a minute. Right, it's this one. There's nothing wrong I can say about this. The good thing is the booklet, how you can see, right? It has the lyrics, it has lots of pictures from the production, pictures from the film, top quality, and for $29, I think it was, or $25.95, it was a steal. The thing is, the album was in print for 4 years or 5 years, but it took some time to go out of print. But when it did, prices started rocketing up, flippers were doing their business, and now the album costs something like $250, $300, $350, outrageous prices. So stay away with it, from it, sorry. What to do? Well, try this. This is the Canadian mono first pressing, which is very similar to the American one. It is expensive if you want a near-mint copy, but you can try this. Buy the cheapest Magical Mystery Tour album you can find, probably the 2012 stereo, right? And you get the booklet, and you get the sturdy cardboard and the front cover, and that's it. And then go for an American, say, VG Plus record, and if it doesn't have the booklet, and if the cover is completely, there's foxing, so much the better, because the price will certainly go down. I got this one which is in say, very good price condition. There's hardly any crackle. Oh, can I pull this out? The booklet is still in quite decent condition, right? It hasn't become unattached yet, and the record is quite heavy, not 180 grams, but you know, it does the job. That's the mono. Now, I think you also need the stereo, or I think the stereo sounds better than the mono. Not only does it sound better, it's also that there's so many things going on, and there's so many special effects that you need to listen to that, right? Just the moment the record starts, when you got the bars passing by, right, from one speaker to another, so just that effect is worth the price of admission. But be very careful about the stereo. The album was released all over the world, but one place with the stereo mixes, except for the 3 last songs on side B. Why did that happen? I don't know, but that's the truth. Those 3 last songs are on duophonic or electronically processed stereo, and they don't sound that good. And that's all over the world. So, from now on, stay away from any stereo pressing except the one I'm going to tell you about. This one, that's from Germany. Yeah. The Beatles' Magic and Mystery Tour plus other songs. It has a different cover. And the first pressing, this is not the first pressing, this is the Apple reissue. The first pressing was done by Hersu, sort of like a club in England. They released music albums, right? They did the Beatles as well. The first one, be careful, because the first one they released, the A1, B1, used the duophonic stereo mixes, so you have to stay away from that one. It looks exactly like the next release, so you have to ask sellers for an A1, B3. Don't forget, A1, B3. This one has the true stereo mixes because the Germans asked EMI for a copy of the stereo mixes, and, you know, British gentlemen agreed and sent a one-to-one copy tape. This is by far the best sounding stereo album. It's not only the best sounding Beatles album, but one of the best sounding albums I've got. Right? I think it's essential. The trouble is, word spread, prices went up, and now they go for a outrageous amount. Right? There's no need to do that. Soon after, in 1978, I think it was, Apple in Germany released this album and used the same standards, A1, B3. So those days, the album was really cheap. 10 years ago, look at this one, it was mint condition. Absolutely mint. I'll pay 30 euros for it. Shipping included from Germany. But word spread about this one as well. So prices kept going up. But still today, if you're patient, if you take your time, all German pressings from 73 till the early 80s, check on Discogs, have the A1 B3 stamper. So take your time, look carefully, and maybe for, say, 30, 40 to 50 euros you can get a copy. As I feel that the stereo is much better than the mono, you'll be done with the album. Right? And that's all I wanted to say. I hope to do my Genesis video next week if the doggone SACD does come home. And if not, I'll do some more vinyl reviews as usual. I want this channel to become a Beatles channel, but if there's an interest in me doing some other Beatles albums, I'll do it, right? Just leave it in the comments if you're interested. Well, and that's all for now. Bye-bye and take care.